This might sound completely unhinged, but cooking with my Italian aunt taught me more about style and dressing well than any fashion course or styling that I did on a set ever did. It comes down to one simple cooking method that all Italians use. And once I started implementing it in my closet and in clients' closets, I realized that no matter how small or limited you think your closet is, it's actually full of so many options. So picture this. You're getting dressed and you put on, say, jeans and a sweater. And you think, gosh, this outfit is boring. I have nothing good in my closet. I don't know why it doesn't look good or feel good on me. And it's usually at this point that we stop the process of getting dressed, get frustrated, and decide that we need something new, or that our closet just sucks and we wish we could start over. But then I think to myself, if I were cooking, I wouldn't just leave the dish as is. I would add a spice, or I would use milk to balance a dish that is too spicy, or whatever. And this is essentially how I apply this method in Italian cooking called quantobasta to my closet. Quantobasta essentially means as needed or to taste. The only difference is when we're using this method in our closet, we're playing with elements of style instead of ingredients in our kitchen. I'll show you. Welcome to my closet. My first example is with the element of shape. I think shape is so different for everyone, so take this example with a grain of salt. It might not work for you, but it's just the idea behind it that can be really helpful. So I have this look with my wide leg jeans, my ballet flats, and a sweater. And like, it's fine, it's cute, but it's falling kind of flat, like a dish without any seasoning. And if we're only thinking about shape, then I wanna add a little bit of something, and that's gonna be structure. We automatically jump to adding a blazer, for example, or a button-up shirt when we think, oh, this look is too soft. But this is the quantobasta method. We're gonna go like a little bit at a time as needed. Because the thing with food is like, you can't unsalt a dish once there's already too much in there. But with clothes, we can subtract just as easily as we can add. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just add a belt with a square buckle. The belt alone, like, this is so subtle, but that squareness and that addition of structure at the waistline actually makes a huge difference. Already, I'm like perfectly happy with the way this turned out. If I want to keep going, if this is feeling still a little bit too soft and I want a little bit more oomph, then I can switch out the shoe to something that is sharp and pointy. Easy. I could do a slingback or a pointed toe flat. This to me is kind of losing the contemporary vibe though of the rounded toe flat. I really want to keep the flat. So something else we could do is swap out the sweater for a button-up shirt. This is like adding quite a lot of structure to this look. And already I feel like this is too much with the belt. So what happens if I take away the belt but leave the button-up shirt? Perfect. I love this option. Another way that you could add structure in a little dose here would be a structured bag. Or if you're feeling like the button-up shirt is like enough, you're feeling a little bit, you know, nice and crisp and polished, then you could add some slouch and softness back through a purse as well. Other ways to add structure or softness are your sunglasses. Something with a rounded frame will pull from all of the softness in the look. You're kind of leaning back into the softness there, or you want to add some more spice, you want to add some more like, you know, oomph, then go with an angular frame. I love how I just came up with like 2 or 3 completely different looks, and I like them all. It just depends on my mood and how much polish or softness do I want to project that day. And that's going to change every day. The beauty is, like, we don't need new clothes for us to project whatever we want. Let's do another example with texture. One of my most textured pieces is this top from Cézanne. I absolutely love it, but every time I put it on, it feels like a lot. And remember, quantobasta is all about your own personal taste. So for example, I would maybe think to pair these 2 items together. These trousers are also from Cézanne. I love them. They've got this like great herringbone wool detail, and the texture is like really rich and beautiful. From a shape and proportion and color perspective, these go together beautifully. But when I have this look on, it feels like too much to me. Like the textures are competing with each other. Plus I'm wearing this patent shoe, which you can't really see because of the trouser, but the patent also is adding a lot of texture. I need to dial it back. But the way I'm gonna do that is keep the top and add something that has less texture on the bottom. This could be just like a nice matte wool trouser. I love these, also from Cézanne. Or we could do just like a very basic denim as well. Nothing with like rips or too much texture or variant in the wash, like just like a nice indigo, that could work well too. So already I feel like now the texture of the top gets to be the star of the outfit. Nothing is competing too much. So if I wanted to add some more texture back into this, like this look is okay the way it is now, but I do feel like we could add a little bit of the spice back in. So the way I would do this is with a handbag. We could either do something like a beautiful basket weave. This would work really beautifully with that organic texture of the top, but we could also do something like this. This isn't even a clutch, it's like a little tiny wallet, but sometimes when I'm traveling, I use this as my evening purse because it fits everything except my phone. And I like this because the shape in the beads actually kind of echoes the shape in the blouse. Okay, a few videos ago, I featured this silk skirt and a lot of you were like, oh, Alyssa, pair it with your beautiful silk blouse. And like, in theory, yes, and thank you for your suggestions, but like, guys, no thank you. That is not to my taste. That is way too much romance and sort of feminine, frilly and flouncy and delicate, and that's just not me. If we're doing the quantobasta method to that kind of outfit where I'm starting out with the blouse and the skirt, I would have put these things together and been like, why do I feel so off? Like this feels too on the nose, too costumey for me, way too romantic. I love the skirt and I love the blouse, but separately. So I'm gonna pull back some of the romance and instead I'm gonna pair it with the bustier. Now, this is still very romantic and feminine, but I think because of the structure and the sharpness, it offsets this really, really well. In this example, the ingredients that we're playing with aren't necessarily technical elements of style like texture or shape or color. Instead, it's the actual aesthetic. So I'm taking something that has perhaps a little bit more edge and I'm switching that out for the super feminine look that was recommended to me. And already I feel more like myself. But if I wanted to take out more of the feminine and romantic ingredient and add something that feels perhaps a little bit more like functional or utilitarian, I would swap out the bustier for maybe a black button-up shirt. So I'm getting a completely different set of ingredients and I like the way this looks. I'm gonna just tie it at the waist to still give some of that femininity. And look, if I wanted to go even further and inject more of this like utilitarian aesthetic into my look, then I would go with a more utilitarian shoe, like a flat or a loafer. And now my ratio of ingredients is completely different. Really, the only romantic thing that I've got in here now is the skirt and the way I'm tying the blouse. And that's okay. I've created several different outfits with very different overall feelings. It just depended on the ratio of the style aesthetic. I think what I love so much about this method is that it encourages me to keep playing with my outfit. So often I stand in front of my mirror and I'm like, oof, my outfit just feels boring. And then we automatically think that we need to buy new clothes or that our closet doesn't have enough cool stuff in it. But that's not the case. It's because we're kind of stopping right when things can get really good. So I hope thinking about quantobasta when you are putting your outfit together reminds you that you can add a little bit of flavor, take it away if you want, it's no big deal. Nobody's eating this outfit unless like it's a good outfit, and isn't that what they say now? Like, you ate that, I don't know, no crumbs, they left no crumbs. I'm so not cool. Anyway, the analogy has clearly run away from me, but let me know in the comments below if you want me to do more examples with different elements and which one. If you want more shop your closet elements of style content, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so that you don't miss these kinds of videos. You can also join the membership where we have weekly challenges so that we are always shopping our closets and getting creative, and get on the wait list for the live Shop Your Closet event where we do this with different women. So you if you're bored of my closet, get to see someone else's. Okay, thank you so much for watching and for being here. I will see you in the next slow fashion video. Ciao.